Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. And all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Thamine from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video, right? What I'm scrolling through here is a definition of the word submission. Okay? Submission, because it's a word that's broadly being thrown around. And mainly amongst relationships between the so-called black man and the so-called black woman. Right? People are saying that they won't submit. They're not going to submit to a man. But or even when the word submission comes along or pops up, people they get offended. They think it's just them. They're saying, okay, you're the boss of me, or whatever the case may be, or I will make you the head of me. Well, you know how these husband and wives, you know how their relationships are these days. They're weird. But the word submission, or to submit, it comes from something being taken from you. That's why my last video, I was talking about you will be forced to accept it, which is what? Polygyny, right? Because like I mentioned, now everything is okay now, right? And the walls is slowly closing in on all you women and the people of the society. Mainly you women, because you're the one who's online just running your mouths, right? Now all you see is weak men. And we do agree that the men in this society, they're of a weaker stature, they're of a weaker frame, they're of a weaker mind, right? So easy times make men weak, right? Hard times make men strong. And you're about to come into the time of strong men again, because this is the time where men are weak. Everything is comfortable, right? And these women are not understanding that this is the reason why men are the way they are. First thing first, you women raise them. Secondly, it's everything is smooth sailing, so to speak. So men are going to be weaker. There's nothing to defend. You don't have to go out and chase anything. You don't have to go out and hunt. Everything is given to you. So automatically the man becomes weaker. Just like men in other countries, third world countries, who have to get up in the morning and go hunt their food, they're naturally going to be stronger, right? Mentally and physically, right? So this brings me back to the point of submission. Women choose to not submit to men due to the fact that everything is given to them, right? The jobs, you can just go to school or whatever the case may be. Men don't really learn like that. We're hands-on kind of people. Women are more into sitting down in the classrooms and all that stuff, right? So let's get into the word submission, or submit, or submittum in Latin, right? The definition here is under the control of another, right? To yield oneself, right? Become submissive. Said here, to yield, to lower, let down, put under, reduced, let go, right? Let's see what the transitive sense of the word refer to the discretion of the judgment of another, especially for criticism or opinion, hence for purpose, declare as one's opinion, right? Let me go get another definition of the word, because this is to take, right? In the legal agreement to submit, Let's see what it has here. It means the condition of being submissive, humble, or compliant, an act of submitting to the authority or control of another, right? Let's see what we have. It says to yield, the same thing, but in the sense that I'm talking about is submission. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. The action of the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or the will or to the will or authority of another person. So it says here accepting or yielding. How do you yield? Let's say two people are fighting, right? Because in this sense, in this world, when it comes to relationship, it's like a fight. It's like a power struggle. So how do you men expect women to submit to you when there's no physical struggle? This is all verbal, right? Men know when men strive with each other or argue, it has to be an ass whooping, and the stronger man comes out on top. When it comes to the woman, they go head to head with you verbally, and there's no consequences that comes out of it. So she automatically wins, right? Men power is in physical force. Women power is in verbal, right? And emotionality. So they're always going to be when it comes to arguments and stuff like that. It has to be women always going to come out on top. Your power is being jeopardized or has been jeopardized due to the fact that if you put your hands on anyone in this society, you're going to go to jail, right? So the woman is not going to submit to you. There's no fear. There's no fear of losing you, right? There's no fear of consequences. That's the reason why other nations, I would say Elam, the East Indians, their women are afraid, so they submit, right? It's the same thing when it comes to the Heavenly Father. We submit to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai because we're afraid of Him, because we've seen the consequences of us not fearing Him, right? We came over here in the slave ships, right? But you women are going to learn to fear men again due to the fact that wars are going to start happening in this society, and all you single women are going to, you're going to feel the blunt force of it, because men are going to be running wild. Men are going to be trying to snatch women up, right? And that's all measured in the Bible, right? And your women are going to be asked out without a man. So all you women who think that you don't need a man, that's going to change real soon. You're going to mourn. Okay, you're going to mourn not having a husband. You're going to mourn not having someone to protect you. And you're going to wish you had someone that you can yield to and that you can submit to, right? Because other men are going to make you submit, right? Other men are going to make you yield. Men that you don't like, men that you don't want, men that smell like shit, right? Men that are rough around the edges, because society is going to collapse and you're going to really see what men really are. So, 2nd Ezra 16:33 says that a virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And that's the time that we're coming into. So all you women out here talking all manner of foolishness that men are evil, you haven't seen anything yet. What you're witnessing is men at the weakest, because society has given them everything that they need, so there's no need for them to be strong, right? You want men to be strong in a society where everything is is given to them, right? Um, and that's the reason why you won't submit, because men are pretty much effeminate right now. Most of them are, right? Most of them are, and that's the reason why these women are complaining and not knowing what's going on. This is the end of a thing, so the men are going to be weak. Every time a society goes down or a kingdom goes down, the men are weakened, due to the fact that they've gotten to the point where a society has reached its pinnacle, right? Reached to the top. So the hard times when men had to go out and fight and take things, that's done. And now after you get the victory, what happens? It's a party. It's smooth sailing. Hard times create strong men, right? Strong men create how does the saying go? Strong men create weak no, strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, right? However, let me get that phrase. Strong men Salakia. Strong men create good times. Yeah, here it is. Strong men create good times. No, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. This is where we are in this society, right? Good times create weak men, right? And now, this is where you have the women, and they were part of this, the good times, right? And now they're coming upon a time where men are weak because of the weak men create hard times. So you can't really blame these dudes, right? This is the end of a thing. This is the end of a society. It's the end of a kingdom. It's the end of an era. All right. So the fact that you don't want to submit to a man, it's fine. Weak men are going to create hard times again. And that's what we're seeing now. And then hard times create what? Strong men. So it goes right back to a cycle, right? And how long does the hard times last? We don't know, right? Just like how the men that were fighting didn't know how long the hard times were gonna last, right? They were at war. They were out snatching stuff. They were out conquering other nations, right? So you women are gonna mourn at having a bridegroom. You will be forced to accept polygyny. Again, you're not gonna care if a man has multiple wives or multiple women. In those days, in the times to come, men are not even gonna be talking about multiple women anyways, because it's gonna be it's gonna be a liability for them to have multiple women. But a man of the Lord, that's who's gonna probably have multiple women, right? Let's go right back to Isaiah 4. Back to Isaiah 4 again, right? 4 and 2. And that day, um, actually 4 and 1. And that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right? The war. I think it's 2nd Ezra 16, the same spot I'm at. In the wars to come. Let's see, 2nd Ezra's. Yep, verse 34. 2nd Ezra 16. And 34, right? Actually, let's start at 33 again, because this is the reason why you women are going to mourn, okay? It says, there's a virgin shall mourn having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Okay? So that's what's about to happen. So all you women who think that you don't need a man, you think these wars are not going to reach on our front lines? You think these famine are not going to reach on our front lines? We're already starting to see the trucks go on strike and all that stuff, right? You're starting to see what do you call that? Trades being disrupted between countries, between America and Canada and wherever you are in the world. Okay? So you will be forced to accept whatever men that you can ravage. And if they have a couple of wives, you're going to be forced to accept that because you want to survive. You want to eat. So you're gonna have to get in where you fit in. You're gonna be forced to accept it, right? Famine are gonna be there, right? Wars are gonna be there, class wars, race wars, right? So you will be forced to accept it, and you will be forced to submit. I know it's a word that makes you women tick, but guess what? It's gonna be a part of your inner makeup, just like how blood is, right? You're gonna fall in line, not even caring. Shalom.